if I'm Kansas this year, because it hasn't been done since the first two games in the series ever, I want that back to back versus
Yeah,
Texas.
the fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina, upstate, A64. Yeah, the FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I
Welcome
see.
into the Fan Addict Sports Channel for Sports Fan by Sports Fan. It's your man Coach I and the Stat Guy. We back for another video. What's going on, Jeff?
Yo, what's up,
Hey
I?
man, we back in the lab for another video. Last time we brought you what games we were looking forward to, top OOC games of 2022. As you can see at the top, we're talking about the top 5 Big 12 games in 2022. We'll be doing each Power 5 conference and then the top 5. We'll have a video for each conference and then the top 5 of Group of 5 as well. So if you like the content, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. But Jeff, let's jump right in, man. I mean, it's the Big 12. I think, at least for us, it's probably the least important. I ain't gonna say. I guess them and the Pac-12 might be the least important conferences. What you think?
Hey, man, the Pac-12 got some headbusters this year, though. So
Yeah, that's a little different. So I guess in 2022, Big 12 might have to take a back seat. You know what I'm saying? That they might be the new Pac-12 since Lincoln Riley's not at Oklahoma. He's out at USC doing LA type things, making everybody mad. But we'll get to that in another video. So let's jump right in, man. First game, we got Oklahoma State versus Baylor in week 5. That is a rematch of the Big 12 championship. I think Oklahoma State is returning a lot of folks, man, and Baylor's been pretty consistent these last couple of years. So I'm looking forward to that game. It's just because, like I said, it's a rematch of the Big 12 championship, and it could go a long way to decide who's going to show up in the Big 12 championship this year.
no, I'm right there with you. I think everybody should have this game circled for Big 12 fans. This is something that this is going to give somebody a loss. And the way I look at it, with where we're at in the college landscape, Big 12, somebody's got to run the table if they're trying to make the playoffs. So the winner of this game is going to go a long way. A key point from this game: no team that's ever scored 35 points has ever lost this game, which is a very interesting fact considering both of them are very high-powered offenses. So looking just through their history, I'm surprised we haven't seen a 49-42 or some crazy shootout in that. So a race to 35, who's going to get
Yeah,
there
and
first?
Oklahoma State has to go to Baylor, so hopefully, for Baylor anyway, they have the home field advantage. The next game is the Red River. Is it Red River rivalry or Red River shootout? Oklahoma and Texas fans, get me straight in the comments. I think it's the Red River rivalry. So it is week 6. It's the next week. Oklahoma versus Texas, man. I agree with what you just said. This year, no, every year we can say Pac-12. If you don't go, undefeated, you probably not gonna make the playoffs. I think we say the same thing for the Big 12 this year. So this is another key game. If you lose this game, I'm not gonna say you out of, but it's gonna be highly unlikely that you make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, so you did have it right. It is now the Red River rivalry, formerly known as the Red River
Okay.
Shootout. I guess the shootout, they probably changed the name. Don't need no shootout in the name or whatever.
You
You
gotta
never
be
know.
PC.
Craziness. Right. Got to be PC. Oklahoma first year head coach Brent Venables coming over from Clemson. Oklahoma first year head coaches in the Red River rivalry, 4-4-1.
Ooh. So
So
50. So he
are
got a
they gonna?
50-50 shot.
Yeah. Hey, you got to flip of the coin. Maybe the college football breaks back out the tie. Who knows? But definitely going to be a big game. Oklahoma lost a lot. Obviously, I do think that Brent and what he brings with his characteristics and attitude is probably going to be a good jolt for the program. But they did lose a good bit, so we'll see exactly where they stack up. Obviously, Texas still trying to get back to Texas,
Ha-
so should be fun
Haven't they been
times
trying to do that for like 15 years now?
since Ben John.
All right, I'm not gonna take no shots at Texas, but they got Quinn Ewers, and Quinn Ewers, we'll see if he's all the worth all the fuss, leaving Texas, going to Ohio State for a year just so he can do the NIL, then going back to Texas. Now I seen a quote today that said Texas is where he's always wanted to be. So
No, he's back
yeah,
home.
I mean I understand that, but I mean if it's that important to you, you could have just stayed at home in the first place. But the money was more important. But
The money. Hey, he left Texas high school football early so he could go sign
for real,
NIL.
for real. So speaking of money, we are wearing another color of our Fanatics t-shirts. Last week we had the black. Now I got the red and black and white, and Jeff is rocking the white. These t-shirts, you can get one in your favorite school's color for $25 plus shipping. If we have to ship it. If we don't have to ship it and we can meet you, then it's just $25. The link will be in the contact info will be in the description. You can either, if you follow us on the Fanatic on Twitter, send us a DM, or you can email tfasportsnetwork@gmail.com. All right, so on to the next one. Iowa State and Okie State. Iowa State is always like just on the cusp. It's like they can beat Oklahoma, but they can't do enough to make it to the Big 12 championship. What's going in Oklahoma State? Like I said, I think they return, a good portion of their stars from last year. They're trying to repeat, so they got to beat Iowa State, and Iowa State has got to beat people other than Oklahoma. Not that they beat Oklahoma every year, but you know what I'm saying. Whenever they upset somebody, it's always Oklahoma. But they lost what's his name, Brees Hall. So we'll see exactly what they're going to do at the running back position and how this is going to shake out for them.
And Iowa State's just kind of that annoying team. They're going to hang around. You got to put them away. You can't let them stay in the game for 4 quarters. And, this could be something, Okie State a couple weeks prior goes on the road, beats Baylor. This could be a catch 'em game. Iowa State normally gets somebody every year. Is this get 'em game? So we'll see. Definitely another pivotal game in the Big 12.
Exactly. And it's like with a lot of these conferences, the games that we're looking forward to are mostly, not all, but mostly gonna be games that have something to do with who we think might get to the title game. Like this next game, the Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State Bedlam. I think Oklahoma is pretty much has the upper hand in that series, but like you said earlier, new coach, new to the rivalry. He's not new to all rivalries, but he's new to this one. So this will be the time to see if Okie State can, get on them. I think they beat them last year, so they can do it 2 years in a row.
And as a college football fan, if you don't like Bedlam, something's wrong with you. This rivalry is amazing. They get after it. Normally high-scoring affairs. Being SEC fans, we love us some 6-3 and 10-7 rivalry games, but it ain't that. There's going to be some points on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I always liked Oklahoma State. They really don't like each other. So I don't know. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State fans, if you watching, tell us how far apart are these universities? Because these dudes how North Carolina and Duke are like right down the street from each other. That's how I feel like they hate each other. It's like that neighbor that you just can't get rid of. So another game involving Oklahoma State. Like that's 3 games, on our top 5 involving Oklahoma State. I personally think Oklahoma State has a shot to repeat at getting to the Big 12 championship. Not, I don't know if they're gonna win it yet. We'll see what the transfer portal holds and injuries and so on and so forth. The last game on the list does not.
My personal favorite.
Yes, Jeff, your personal favorite doesn't have what we think have anything. Well, I guess it could. If Texas is trying to be back, this could definitely have something to do with it, but it is Texas versus Kansas, and they got to go to Lawrenceville. And for those that were sleeping under a rock last year, the reason why this game is important to us, Kansas beat Texas last year. They won 1 conference game last year, and it was Texas.
Hey, man, look, Rock Hawk, Jayhawk. So I'm a big believer. They won the first 2 games ever in this series, 1901 and 1938. They haven't won 2 games in a row since. So this is a chance to do something they haven't done since the first 2 games of the series. And then also, I mean, they've won one Big 12 game or less every single year for the last, 13 years. So they gotta do something to turn that around. Hey, if you can only win one, if I'm a Jayhawk fan, this is the one I'm circling to go win. Go beat Texas in a row. Go ahead, build you some momentum. If you can only get one, and Kansas fans, you let me know if there's maybe they probably want Kansas State. I don't know, but why not go ahead and beat Big Bad Texas? And for all the Jayhawk fans out there, I got your back. Texas got to come to Lawrenceville. Let's go.
That's right, man. Because if I'm Kansas this year, because it hasn't been done since the first 2 games in the series ever, I want that back-to-back versus Texas. So just so we can say you're not back. But hey, Kansas State may be a bigger rivalry than either of us know about. So maybe some Kansas State fans like, nah, we don't really care about Texas. But if we can get 2 this year, then Kansas State and Kansas. How about that? So those are your games, man. Top 5 games 2022 for the Big 12. We got Oklahoma State at Baylor, Oklahoma versus Texas, Iowa State at Oklahoma State, Oklahoma versus Okie State in Bedlam, and then Texas at Kansas. They got to go to Lawrenceville. So don't get ahead of yourself, Longhorns, until you can complete the mission in Lawrenceville. Anything else on the Big 12 top 5 games, Jeff?
That's about all, man. Make sure y'all get at us in the comment section, especially for the Big 12 fans. Let us know, baby, what we're sleeping on, and let us know what we need to be looking out for this year.
What games are you looking forward to in the Big 12 fans? So for Jeff, the stat guy, I'm Coach I. Another episode of the Fan Addict. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we are out.
Fans like they part of my team. Come rock with me. We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound. Let's go eat. Turn on the Fan Addict. Let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state?